Hello and welcome to Flat Cap and a Cold One. Talk about yesteryear. Just something that you just take for granted, really. I just happened to mention in my last little natter about my glass cutting. There was a lot of interest. I didn't think of it at the time. I just happened to mention. Some people have been commenting about the pictures they can see at the back here, and I made the frames. Well, I took the picture, got them blown up, and made the frames and cut the glass. That's 2mm, and I just happened to mention, and I just happened to talk about my glass cutting. And there's a lot of people have commented saying how interesting it is, and it is. I don't want to, but I was very skilled in glass cutting. My very first job, straight from school, was BMS. Bradford Motorist Supermarkets, which was part of the old Quick Save in Denby, which is, well, home bargains for locals in Denby. If you walk in the front of Home Bargains into the store, BMS would be there, but just on the left as you look at Home Bargains. That's where BMS was, and that was my first job. And then I was there for about 3 years, and then I moved to Rill. I tell you what, I've done videos and I can't remember the titles. If you want to look it up, I have done a series of videos. It's on this channel. It's BMS or Motorworld, the Madhouse or something I've called it. If you want to look it up, and I document it, I go through it, and I actually film in Rill where it was. Absolutely brilliant. It was a laugh a minute a day in that place, I tell you. And I was made the assistant manager with Simon and Bert and the managers, which I won't go into, but the managers came and went in that place. I survived them all. Well, for legal reasons, I won't say too much, but they came and went and I survived them all. But it was absolutely, it was a fantastic place it was a brilliant, and that was in Rill. So if you want to look it up, I have documented. I might do another series actually. I might revisit, because it's not there anymore, it's gone, and talk about it and show you where it was and a bit more banter and what have you. But I probably will do, actually. I think I will. But like I say, it's on this channel, WXPM. BMS Motorworld. Type in Motorworld, you'll probably find it. Or the Madhouse, I think I called it. That's what it was. But if you want to, it's only about 3 or 4 videos I've done, and I actually have filmed it in Rill where it was and that, because it's not there now. And I go back to, to the old days and what have you. So yeah, it's BMS Motorworld or Madhouse or something like that, and you'll find it. It's on this channel. But that was my first job, and then I went in the building trade, then the builders merchants and what have you, and the DIY and all that. And I was, like I said, a glass cutter, and it was like a different challenge every day. Customers' requirements, people would come in, they'd have a door. It was something you'd have to do, and it'd be different every day. It's not the same old thing. It'd be different. Someone would come in, oh, can I have a piece of glass? 43 inches by 17.5. What thickness? Horticultural, 2mm, 4mm, 6mm, or the Georgian, used to call it. And you have to watch that, because, glass, you can handle it. But Georgian, you've got to watch, because the wire can rip your hand apart. And as I was saying about cutting a hole, you see on these programs, they cut a hole in the sucker and they do the sound effects. They just pull it out. It does not work like that. You got to first cut, you know, whatever hole to the customer's requirement, and then you tap it out. You've got to then do a series of different holes. You've got to start at the centre and cut a, you know, little hole, and you've got to work your way out. It's difficult to explain, but you know, you don't just put a sucker, draw a circle and pull it out. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, it's you know, it's interesting, and I used to really enjoy it, the glass cutting, and I was good. Any job that came in, it was always handed to me. You know, they'd say, oh, someone had come in and wants a piece of glass and that. They'd say, oh, yeah, they'd give me the bit of paper, and I'd go and do it. And I said, really enjoy it. It was good. Like I said, every glass cutting job was different. It was never the same. I used to cut shapes. That was no problem. Holes in glass. Got a pane of glass. You had to cut that, you know, to the size to start with. Then you got to cut a hole in it for a ventilator or whatever. That was that, or you know, it is quite difficult. But cutting shapes and actually cutting to size, that's no problem at all. But yeah, it's a really enjoy my glass cutting. 2mm, which is that there, was 4x3. Anything bigger and you wouldn't carry it, because it'd be like paper. It'd be, you know, the delivery van had arrived and you take it off. You'd probably have about 2 or 3 at a time. If you carried one, it would actually flop in the wind. You know, it would move like that. You know, it's and Hort, and those were 3x2, 3 foot by 2 foot, or 2x2s, and the 4mm standard window glass was 6x4. 6x4s, used to pick them up, you know, either side, like, and I used to put them on me, balance them on my foot to get them onto the table. You have a flat table, you get them onto your feet, like that, onto your feet, and then you'd lift and you'd spin it and you'd just flop down. As long as there was nothing on the table, you know, your gauge or your glass cutter or nothing like that, it would flop on the table. It wouldn't break, nothing like that. You know, it looked pretty spectacular, but it was pretty safe. And then you got all the pattern stuff. Some patterns were more difficult to cut than others. There's loads of different patterns. And on pattern glass, you'll have the rough side, and you'll always have the smooth side. And it's the smooth side that used to score and tap and snap. So yeah, really enjoyed it. So thank you very much, you know, for commenting. Like I said, you just don't realise, but I was a very, you know, but I was a very skilled glass cutter. But I think I will do another, looking back, I'll put my flat cap on, I think, and go to Rill and do just a bit of a documentary about BMS, Motorworld. You know, it was BMS when I first started. I might start off in Denby and show Home Bargains where it was and this and that. It was absolutely, it was brilliant working there. BMS in oh well, yeah, it was Motorworld. By the time I got to Rail, it was Motorworld. But yeah, I could tell you some stories about, well, I think I did in Harry. I won't say his surname, but Harry was the Arthur Daly of Rail. He'd get you anything, Harry. He's dead now. He's died. Well, he died while I was in actually working in Motorworld. But I won't say his surname. And he used to have the sheep skin, like a Del Boy. I tell you, there's some characters I tell you what, I think I will write a book. I could write a book about the people and the characters that I've come across and acquainted and met, and experiences with the Astra in Rail as you're coming over the Vale Road Bridge. I know it's a bingo hall now. I've done videos about this before, but it was the Astra. You got the Astra and then the Plaza. If you know Rail, you got the W.H. Smith. It's almost opposite W.H. Smith. If you got W.H. Smith behind you, just to the right, it's on the corner. It's a cafe now. That was the Plaza Cinema I'm talking about now, because I used to be a projectionist and used to help out on the Cinema 180 on the front. If you ever been to that, 70mm projector, film projector. Can't remember his name now. He was the only one in the area that could load a 70mm film projector, and I can't remember his name. But was to help out there. And the Derbyshire Miners, I've talked about this before, which is down the end of Marsh Road. That's not there now. We were playing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and we were up in the film booth, and I was cleaning the film, the second reel. I think it was 2 reels, and it snapped, and we panicked, and me and Simon that was, and I tell you, and people all booing and clapping, and then I didn't know how to switch the projector off, so I put my hand in front of it, and a bulb in a 16mm, it was a 16mm projector. They're really bright, and they're really powerful, and they're really hot. And I put my hand in front of me, I burnt my hand. I tell you, I could write a book, and I think I will actually. I tell you. But yeah, I think I will do something about Motorworld, well, BMS, Motorworld. But have a look if you're interested. I mean, you know, don't, you know, it's up to you if you're interested about my yesteryear. But this is, you know, if you ever see a title on the video now, which I'm doing a little mini series now, Flat Cap and a Cold One. It's about tales, you know, yesteryear, shall I say. So anyway, I'm going, and I'll see you in the next Flat Cap and a Cold One.